Welcome back, YouTubers, to the British Fists preview of TNA Lockdown coming this Sunday, an all-steel cage pay-per-view with none other than your duo, dynamic dudes, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
I am Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me, he's the one and only charismatic enigma. It's NJ, everybody.
What's up?
Jeez, I thought you were going to fall over then.
No, I don't.
Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts down in that comment section below on going into lockdown, guys.
And make sure you contact us in the links in the box below.
Indeed, and so lockdown, a big pay-per-view for TNA, NJ. Just want to get your thoughts on your excitement levels going into TNA Lockdown this year.
Well, the main thing I want to say about this is work from the main event backwards, because the main event, yes, we've seen it before, but I think they're really going to do it properly this time. They're not going to think, oh, let's just rush it, let's do this, let's do that. They're going to have a one clean, awesome match. The rest of the matches, yes, you compare that the build's just been not as good as it should have been, but they are still big matches that's going to make Lockdown, so it's really worth tuning in for.
And I must say, I am particularly pumped for Lockdown. I may get a little bit of stick about this in the comment section below, but I am genuinely looking forward to Lockdown more than I am WrestleMania, and that is just my opinion on Lockdown. To me, that we've got a great main event there. We've got a lot of feuds in there that have been culminating over a long time now, which are going to be like sort of blow-offs, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to it, and the fact they're all going to be steel cages as well is a good thing in my opinion. Even though it is very gimmicky, some people might say it does add a lot of intrigue to the matches. And some of those matches on there actually do warrant steel cage matches, which does add to the pay-per-view. So I'm really looking forward to Lockdown. What have your thoughts been on the build so far?
Well, like I said in my quick rundown, it's just the main event, yes, that's been going for a while now. The rest of the matches, you could see them just been thrown in there, but it's still going to be a good match at the end of the day.
Well, I will say this. A few of the matches have had very good build. Matt Morgan Crimson has been cultivated now over a long time with the tag team. With Jeff Hardy and Angle has been cultivated now for about a month or two. The Lethal Lockdown technically has been going on since Bound for Glory, and Roode versus Storm has been going on since Bound for Glory as well, really, if you think about it. So a lot of these feuds, in my opinion, have been cultivated over time. They have been built very well, and there's a few in there that haven't been built greatly, but we'll go on to them more now. We're going to talk about the matches. But I will say I am really, really pumped for Lockdown. I'm really looking forward to this. I have very high expectations of this show.
Very true, and it's the opening match that I'm really looking forward to, the highlight of Lockdown, and that is none other than Devon versus Robbie E in a steel cage for the TNA Television Championship.
It's funny you say that, because Devon won the title at Victory Road.
He did.
We haven't seen him since. Instead, we've seen an ODB and Eric Young wedding. I must admit, this hasn't had any TV time. Not even sure really why it's on the card. So I can't say I'm really looking forward to this match. I think this is the one match on the card I'm legit just not looking forward to one bit. Just why? Why even have it?
The thing I'm going to say about it quickly, Devon retain it, please, because if it goes back to Robbie E, it'd be exactly the same. At least Devon's got some credibility of where it could go more than Robbie E.
I think instead of this, you could have had an escape match to showcase the X Division, as Austin Aries isn't going to be defending the belt. Just my opinion there on that one, guys. We had one last year and it's pretty good. And the one in 2007 I was watching last night was awesome! Therefore, next we have, well, I'm going to do Gail Kim versus Velvet Sky next, because this is the match I think I'm looking forward to second least. I think mainly, the knockout, I usually look forward to the knockouts matches. Gail Kim versus Velvet Sky. A couple of things to say about this though. Not a massive fan of Velvet Sky, although I do understand why they put her in this position. She is very over, and I do think when they gave her the title of Bound for Glory, they didn't really give her a fair shot. They gave her like a month or so. So I mean, Gail Kim is a good knockouts champion. She's been knockouts champion for a good 5 or 6 months now, bringing stability to that belt. I hope Gail Kim wins here, but I can understand if they're going to try and put Velvet Sky over here, as these cage matches are designed for the baby faces to go over.
Well, the way I'm going to say it is that Velvet Sky is like a big TNA name, so it's going to be a great match for Gail Kim to be going up against. But I think Gail Kim should get a win over Velvet Sky to continue her reign and then build it up towards another future knockout in the near future.
Yeah, same. I think Gail Kim has to go over here. Although I would understand if they had Velvet Sky go over. The build for this has been somewhat good. I'm not going to complain about the build for this one. I'm not particularly interested in it, but the build has been decent. The next match we'll talk about is the tag team title match. Now, I think this is one of those matches that hasn't really had much build, but it's a match which a lot of people in the YWC really do want to see, and that is Magnus and Samoa Joe, the tag team champions versus the Motorcity Machine Guns. Just sum up how much you're looking forward to this match.
Well, like I said in our review before, the way I saw was Alex Shelley could have gone for the X Division and then done great being a face champion there. That would have been good, but at the same time, him coming back to a tag team, which has not been the strongest in TNA recently, it's a match that is going to be going. People are loving this tag team. People are wanting to see a tag team that's been built up over Matt Morgan and Crimson, and you're going to put on a real strong match. So I'm thinking it's going to be a big draw, and it's going to bring a lot of entertainment in what they do.
This, if anything, this should be a fantastic match. I mean, Magnus, Samoa Joe, and Motorcity Machine are both great workers, especially in the tag team ranks. This, like I said, this should be a good match. I'm a bit annoyed that they haven't really built this very well. I mean, it's had like 2 weeks of build, but I mean, other than the build, I still think this is going to be a fantastic match. It could even be. I mean, there's so many matches on here that could be matches of the night. But I'm expecting this to be a very good tag team match, and it'll be a very good showcase of tag team wrestling at TNA. I mean, these are the best tag teams they have, so it makes sense to have the 2 best tag teams go at it on one of the biggest shows of the year for TNA.
And the big thing about this is, the question is, you could say you've all got an idea who's going to win, but in my opinion, it's two-sided. Number one, because it's going to give Magnus and Samoa Joe a big win over a big name like that, so it'll be good for them. But at the same time, we've got a returning tag team that people want to see more of. It'll be good to give them the win. Yeah,
I think Magnus and Samoa Joe should retain here, purely for the fact that they are the established champions. Most of the Machine Guns have just come back. And I think, to be honest with you, TNA are going to want to get some length out of this feud. So you have to have the... I guess that Magnus and Samoa Joe are the heels here, even though they're both kind of babyface. So, I mean, I really don't know which way this is going to go. I wouldn't mind who wins this, to be honest with you, because they're both good tag teams. I'm not really bothered who wins, although I would prefer Magnus and Joe to win to establish their title reign and further the feud onwards. The next match we're going to talk about is Matt Morgan versus Crimson. And again, I think this is another one of those matches, in my opinion, that has been cultivated now for a long time. It's got that sort of big... They had a match at Turning Point, which didn't really have that big of a feel about it. This one has a much more bigger feel about it now, because you've had some story there with them being tag teams. You've had Crimson turn heel, which I think was the right thing to do. And this story has been cultivated over a long time, and this is the right time, at a big pay-per-view, in a steel cage, to have these two giants face off. And I'm really looking forward to this match, the way they've really built to it very well, in my opinion.
I do agree that this is going to be a big match between two big guys, but I've heard in some reviews that Morgan is obviously the one who's to watch out for, and Crimson, so he gets a bit bashed in a few cases, which is pretty sad, because he's got his undefeated streak, but he's still got a look about him that could be quite good for TNA. But at the same time, I think it's going to be a real strong match between former tag partners going against each other. The winner, I can see it either way, but if Crimson's the one who's going to be maybe going towards the main event, maybe Crimson should get the win over Matt Morgan.
Yeah, I do think Crimson, especially with his new heel turn, needs to get the win in this one. And I do think, again, TNA may get a bit of mileage out of this feud. So you have to have Crimson win to establish his heel turn, to keep his undefeated streak going until you want to maybe have Matt Morgan end it at maybe a Slammiversary or something, which is in 2 months' time. So, you know what? This should be a good match between two big guys in a steel cage. There's a legit feud there, which has been built very well. So this is another one of the matches I'm really looking forward to at Lockdown.
It should be a very good match, and I'm just looking forward to, obviously, it progressing, because I think these two, they've not really been against each other long enough for us to really want this feud to be as big as it is, so I want it to go on upwards.
And Crimson's heel turn was a good thing, so there we go. Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle. Now, I have mixed feelings about this match, mixed feelings here, because Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle is a feud which, in my opinion, could have been very big for TNA. It could have been a massive selling point for Lockdown. And these two will put on a great match. Angle has had great matches at previous Lockdowns against Anderson in 2010, Jarrett in 2011. Jeff Hardy is a high flyer, so them two together should put on a pretty good steel cage match. Their match at Victory Road was very good as well. The only thing I question is how they've kind of overlooked this match a little bit, because they've really not built to this match as a bigger deal as it should have been, in my opinion. That is my one issue with this. It feels like a big match, but the build really hasn't warranted that.
No, because when TNA look at this, they're looking at it from being two big wrestlers in TNA, but also two big wrestlers in WWE. Yeah. And the fact that this match wasn't actually displayed in the WWE, and they're getting TNA, I think they should have had more focus, because WWE fans are going to want, if they know this match is going on, bad for TNA's marketing, but if they knew it was going on, this would be one of the big draws for this pay-per-view, because they're seeing two of fan favourites against each other at a big pay-per-view. in a cage. Awesome.
Especially if you're a disorientated WWE fan, which has happened a lot recently with their movement into the PG era. So it could have been a massive selling point to bring some WWE fans over to TNA, but they really haven't done a good job in, one, marketing this, and number two, building it as a big deal, which in my opinion is what it should be. Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle were both massive stars in WWE. You have to use that because it could have been a massive feud for TNA on top of what we already have at this pay-per-view, in my opinion. But this hopefully will be the blow-off feud, a blow-off match. As last Victory Road was a good match, but it kind of continued the feud. This should be a good match in the sense that this should be the blow-off. Jeff Hardy should win, in my opinion, in a steel cage. Again, it's there it's designed to get the babyface over. And Angle, at the moment, is working an injury, so they'll probably make this his last match and maybe give him a break. But I still expect Angle to put on a good steel cage match. Maybe not as good as he could with the injury, but still a good steel cage match, which I am looking forward to watching still.
After the Go Home show, it's kind of made me think, oh, they don't really show much importance to this, but the match itself, the quality of it, Angle will be playing injured, so it makes the quality to be a bit down in some areas, but the result at the end, the way they build up to the ending, should be really good for these two.
I mean, if they can wrestle 9 minutes on Impact, surely they can wrestle 15 minutes in a cage at Lockdown. That's all I'm going to say. Then we get on to the match, which we think will probably be before the main event, and that is the Lethal Lockdown match. Now, Lethal Lockdown is a thing that they always do on TNA, and this year they've gone with Team Eric versus Team Garett. This, like I said, this feud has been cultivating for a long time, and as much as we don't care about it, at least they've cultivated this in a way which has led to a big pay-per-view, and we've been given a bone here, NJ. One, Bischoff is going to leave, whether it's Eric or Garett, which is one of the reasons why, and plus the people in it, which is one of the reasons why I'm actually looking forward to seeing this match. Even though I don't care about Eric versus Garett, I still care about other people in the match, and I still think it should be a good 5-on-5 cage match, in my opinion.
Well, look at this. Here we've got Rob Van Dam that was kind of thrown in there, but it's a big name in it, so it's going to be good for the team there. But the way I look at this, either side have the right to win. We have Garett to win, because obviously he's for some reason getting this big push in TNA, then getting this big win with his team will do great for him going on after Lockdown. But also Bischoff should win to get rid of Garett. Because to be honest, as we've seen in our reviews, the reaction that he's getting is not great. So like TNA be looking, thinking, oh, we're going to get a draw out this guy. People like him. They don't, so he could be lost and get out. So either way.
Yeah, indeed. I think Garett will go. I think Garrett's team will win here, just because again the stage is designed for the babyface to go over, and I think this whole feud has been done to get Garett Bischoff over. You've got Gunner, Bully Ray, Daniels, and Kazarian, and Eric Bischoff on Eric's team, and you've got AJ Styles, Garett Bischoff, Austin Aries, Mr. Anderson, and Rob Van Dam on Garett Bischoff's team. Now, if you look at this here, there's a lot of star power in there, and you've got a lot of feuds going on as well. You've got Gunner and RVD. RVD just came back because Gunner took him out at Genesis. Bully Ray and Austin Aries, Daniels and Kazarian are feuding with Anderson and AJ Styles. So you've kind of intertwined a lot of feuds there, not to mention the Bischoff and Garett feud. So you've intertwined a lot of feuds into this, which should help feuds going further, but also make the match quite entertaining because you have a lot of good wrestlers in there, high flyers in there, good workers in there. So it should be a good, if anything, as much as we don't care about Garett and Eric, which not a lot of people do, it at least should be a good Lethal Lockdown match.
Well, look at this. There are wrestlers that I'm really interested in, as you know, so I'm looking forward to seeing them and how they continue the feuds there, possibly after Lockdown, or even invent new ones to do this match. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm looking forward to the wrestlers, the Garett Bischoff and Eric Bischoff. I don't really care about that, but one of them's going to be leaving, so we have to just tune and see who it is.
Indeed. And to be honest with you, who do you think will get the pin in? Do you think Austin Aries will get the pin with the push he's been getting lately?
I think of all the rest that are in it, yes, Gunner's been getting a build, but his is slowly slipping back down again, but Aries is going up, so Aries would be the most likely to get the win. And
it's nice to see a guy like Austin Aries, who is the X Division champion, getting featured above the X Division level, as I do think the guy is much bigger than the X Division, and I think he will be... he may even be the star of this match, in my opinion. Who really knows? As well as Bully Ray, of course, as well. He's a top heel in the business right now, in my opinion. So, like I said, it should be a good Lethal Lockdown match. Now going on to the main event, NJ. A match which I've been wanting to see now for 6 months to main event a pay-per-view, and that is Bobby Roode versus James Storm. Now, I already did a video on my channel saying why I'm emotionally invested into this match, and you must admit, this is my most anticipated match of 2012. This could be a match of the year candidate, in my opinion, between two ex-tag team members. Like I said, it's been built up fantastically, in my opinion. James Storm, the way they've done it with James Storm having all these obstacles to get back to Roode. I'm just really looking forward to this match, and I think James Storm should win in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, as much as I'm going to agree that this should be James Storm's big moment, the fact he's already been the champ and that was horrible. The way they did it, his title reign, all that was horrible to bring back up in the Go-Home show. If we look past that and look at the rest of the build and his actual match, it is a draw for this. It's that many fans are looking forward to. And at the end of the day, this match is going to rub out all the other mistaken things they've done in the past.
Yeah, I mean, they started the build off really badly, in my opinion, but you can't deny the fact that they built James Storm up as this big deal on the show. They've really built Roode up as the top heel. So you've got a guy in Bobby Roode, the top heel of the show, James Storm, top face, 2 ex-tag team members of all the history they've got. They've cut that great promo on the Go-Home show, which really sold this pay-per-view match, in my opinion. Inside a steel cage for the top belt in TNA. Like I said, it should be a fantastic match, and I have very high hopes for this match. It should, in my opinion, be a match of the year candidate, and I just can't put into words how much I'm looking forward to this match, really, in my opinion.
And the big thing about this is that this is going to be a drawing match, and if we do get a new champ, the feud's going to continue a bit afterwards, so we're going to expect not to see a better match than this, because this is probably be their best match, but we are going to get other matches following, a feud will continue, and then eventually James Storm will go off and face other wrestlers, which will be something to look forward to.
Do you think James Storm is winning this inside a steel cage in Nashville, Tennessee?
It would be a big thing if Roode obviously got the win here and just destroyed James Storm's hopes, but at the same time, James Storm hasn't built up this guy that people are saying, yes, this is his moment, his chance to go for it.
And I think after his first title reign, which was really bad and really didn't deserve a title reign that bad, it would be nice to see them built up to this very well and give him this big match and big win at a big pay-per-view. So I think James Storm should win this, but if Roode wins it, I wouldn't mind either. These two are going to put on a great match. So I would love to see James Storm win the belt here and have that really big moment at a big pay-per-view like the guy deserves. Not on a minute match against Angle at Impact, just after Bound for Glory. But there we go. Any more thoughts on this match you have before we move on to our overall?
I just think that this match, this is the most built match of the whole card.
Oh, yeah.
And this match, I'm really sure this is, I just saw the advertisements that this is the draw, this is what people are tuning in to see. And I'm just saying that the way they've stacked up this card, as long as it's ordered correctly, it's going to be a great pay-per-view.
It should be a great main event, and that, in my opinion, makes this pay-per-view what it is. You've got a really good main event there. I've got so many other matches which I'm interested in. Hardy and Angle, Lethal Lockdown, the tag title match, Morgan versus Crimson. So I'm legitimately looking forward to this pay-per-view more, equally, if not more than WrestleMania. I can't really put into words how much I'm looking forward to this. This should be a very good show, in my opinion. Like I said, they've cultivated a lot of the feuds over time to really make this feel like a big pay-per-view in the sense that you've got Morgan Crimson, Hardy Angle, the Lethal Lockdown, the main event, etc. So I have very high hopes for this pay-per-view, and I do hope it delivers because, like I said, I don't like being disappointed. So it should be a good show, in my opinion. Your thoughts?
I'm just saying that this is something that TNA are doing correctly. They've done it correctly during the build. They've got a lot going for this. The thing that matters is the payoff at the end and then the direction where they go next with the result of these matches.
Exactly. So there we go. That's our preview on TNA Lockdown, guys. If you have any thoughts on this, maybe you disagree with me about how well I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view. I don't know. But put your thoughts down in that comment section below, of course. And much like we have the monster heel in Bobby Roode and the monster face, James Storm, we're going to pass you over to our monster face here on the British Fist, and that is NJ as he riles down you guys for the end of this video.
I've got 2 words before I go anywhere.
Beer! Money!
Now, thank you very much for people tuning to this video. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And Bob, Mr. Parkin, and me, NJ, tune in for our video on Sunday after the pay-per-view. And until next time, goodbye.